Is our focus on earthly kingdoms or the kingdom of God? How much do we treasure the things of God? Let's examine heaven's treasure in Matthew 13. The kingdom of heaven is. The kingdom of heaven's like a small seed. It'll grow large. Like leaven, it affects everything. Like buried treasure, it's precious. Like a pearl merchant, people sell everything to obtain it. Like a dragnet, it gathers good and bad. Like a householder, it contains old and new treasures. Another parable he put forth to them, saying, The kingdom of heaven's like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all the seeds. But when it grows, it's greater than the herbs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and nest in its branches. The black mustard is an herb which can grow to 3 meters or 10 feet tall. The little flock would become very large. This small beginning foretells an all-encompassing future. Exclusive small churches that think they're still that little flock totally miss the point of this parable. The least of all the seeds is conversational speech, like saying, "Isn't that just the cutest baby?" It's not a scientific or statistical conclusion, but an everyday superlative. A lot of biblical criticism comes from educated people misunderstanding the genre of literature. Jesus frequently taught with imagery and hyperbole. The active ingredient of church growth is not for sale at any price. Jesus said, "I will build my church." Is it wrong to get advice? Of course not. Jesus predicted that the kingdom of heaven would grow to be the largest garden plant, a tree. Another parable he spoke to them, the kingdom of heaven's like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till it was all leavened. What about yeast helps us understand the kingdom of heaven? There are 2 things to consider. 1, usually leaven pictures sin, and 2, leaven spreads. Is it the kingdom growing, or sin inside the kingdom? Both are relevant. The kingdom hidden inside the church grows, and heresy grows in the church. Again, the kingdom of heaven's like treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and hid. And for joy over it, he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Treasure hunters include archaeologists and marine salvage operators. 2 separate $500 million fortunes were recovered in 1985 and 2007. The most valuable treasure of all is the kingdom of heaven. It's in this world, but buried. Would we be willing to sell everything for the kingdom of heaven? Again, the kingdom of heaven's like a merchant, seeking beautiful pearls, who, when he'd found 1 pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Pearls are still prized. They're formed by the hand of God. The buried treasure was found by accident. The pearl was found by someone who was looking. He too sold all that he had. What's our most prized thing? Is anything worth more than the kingdom of heaven? Again, the kingdom of heaven's like a dragnet that was cast into the sea and gathered some of every kind, which when it was full they drew to shore, and they sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but threw the bad away. So it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come forth, separate the wicked from among the just, and cast them into the furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Like a dragnet, the kingdom also gathers indiscriminately. Trawlers separate their catch. Many moderns don't like to hear about hell, but Jesus doesn't shy away from it. Angels will only confirm what we've already chosen. Don't choose to neglect salvation. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Jesus said to them, "Have you understood all these things?" They said to him, "Yes, Lord." Then he said to them, "Therefore every scribe instructed concerning the kingdom of heaven is like a householder who brings out of his treasure things new and old. In marital love, each provides both new and old for the other. Faithful disciples are blessed with old and new treasures. The kingdom is a treasure trove of new and old stories. The old truths prepare for the cross and are given new life in the church. Earthly treasures will all fade, but the new and old treasures of the kingdom of heaven are forever. Do we count the kingdom of heaven as our greatest treasure?